Hi, and welcome to the Blogger Interviews. You know, a while ago, we interviewed a cat by the name of Spigots. Well, today we have the man behind Spigots, Eric Peter Schwartz, the Schwartzcaster. And we're going to find out how much of Spigots is in Eric and how much of Eric is in Spigots. Who is possessing whom?
I started because I had done a couple of just quick, like, regular vlogs. Mm-hmm. With my webcam. I got this computer and it had a webcam for the first time. So I'd done a couple just on Facebook that my friends could see. And it was fun, and I thought it was kind of fun, but I don't particularly feel that this is necessarily show ready. So it's not photo ready. So I thought, you know, I really there's stuff I want to do, but I don't really think that generally the stuff like my daily vlog stuff would be all that entertaining. My day-to-day stuff, I have things to say, but they're generally in an entertaining fashion. You know, I've been writing for 25 years, doing sketch comedy, and so I'm really more geared in an entertaining vein. Sitting down in front of a camera and just talking about, well, you know, I went to the store today, and you wouldn't believe this old lady who was in line in front of me. Just didn't appeal to me as something I wanted to do. And so I looked around for a while. I actually did about a month and a half's worth of research, just going into YouTube and seeing who was on there, you know, seeing what people were doing. And I thought, I need a character. I need some sort of character, or I need something, you know, so that I'm putting on a show more than I'm actually just vlogging. And I had Spigots. Spigots has actually been an old stage staple from the comedy group since 1998 is when I created it.
So, sorry, and it glitched. Did you say since 1998?
Yeah, 1998.
Okay.
Since 1998, when I first created him, and we used to do him on stage, and he was just sitting in a box next to my computer. And I thought, So I took it out, I did some trial runs with it, and I thought, I think this is what I want to do, because he was always popular with our live audiences. I thought, okay, you know, and I knew the character. I just had to tweak a little bit from what was live to what wound up being on YouTube as far as the character was concerned, and I just went with that. And so it's been really interesting, especially since Spigots has kind of moved into actually talking about things from my real life. The more I do this, the more Spigots and I actually become one person. It's very creepy. I mean, I have to keep up a little bit of his character mythology, like his background, where he went to school and all this stuff. But then he'll talk about like his likes and dislikes and music and all these things, and that part's all me. So, yeah.
Well, you put a lot of effort into preparing to do it. What drove you into putting all this effort and doing this show on YouTube? Why are you doing it?
Well, I have been, like I said, you know, I've been doing live sketch work and writing and screenwriting and playwriting for 25 years. Mm-hmm. So YouTube to me was another stage. It was another place for me to play. And I've been actually doing online entertainment of different kinds. I used to run an internet radio station where my comedy group produced a half-hour sketch comedy show every week, like fully produced, you know, with sound effects and everything. And I always, you know, try to drive that, or online fiction, things like that. So YouTube, I kind of kept away from for a while because I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know the stuff I was seeing video wise up until YouTube, you know, in the early, like up to 2005, was way more produced than anything I could have done at that point. I didn't have the equipment. I didn't have anything. So I just kind of stayed away from it. And then once I got into MySpace and Facebook, I would upload old stuff that we did on cable access and things like that. So really, it wasn't until somebody said, I was talking to a young friend of mine, somebody who was in his early, like 21, and he suggested, you know, you should do stuff on YouTube. And he was talking to me about YouTube the way I would talk about television. You know, the way I would talk about old television, because he grew up with, you know, the stuff that I thought of as new, something like Homestar Runner, which is I don't know if people even remember Homestar Runner anymore, but it was sort of groundbreaking as far as online entertainment. I thought it was like new and fantastic, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to watch that in middle school." I was like, "Oh, my heart," you know. So it took me a while to get to it, and then I saw YouTube as a stage, and it wasn't until I saw two people actually in the beginning was Ray William Johnson, because I didn't know that people had shows. I was like everybody else. I'm 40, and everybody my age saw YouTube as, oh, that's where I go and get music videos to post on Facebook for my friends when I'm drunk, or it's cute cats and things like that. I didn't realize people had channels and shows. But Ray William Johnson, I found him, and then I found Philip DeFranco, and then I found Wheezy Waiter, and that was when it clicked with me, and I said, okay, I think I get what this guy's doing and how he does it out of his bedroom. He was doing it in his little apartment. So it didn't need to have a studio. It didn't need to have a set. That was when I first realized, okay, I literally could do this in my basement with a puppet cat, and there'd be somebody out there to watch it.
I mean, is that so? You're doing it for the pleasure of having the audience enjoy it, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a born performer and a born creative person. I've always written since I was a little kid. Used to do comic books and used to hook up the 8-track, put the 8-track in, and I had the little mic and I would tell like Spider-Man stories into these old 8-track tapes. And if you don't know what an 8-track is, kids, Google it. You'll find out. So I've always done tape. It was this great medium where a song would fade out in the middle and click and then fade back in. The nice thing about YouTube, and I'm not going to lie, the nice thing was that I started to realize as I was doing that research, there is a business model. Entertainment for me has always been a goal as opposed to simply a hobby. I mean, it's mostly worked out as a hobby, and I do it regardless of whether or not I'm making any money. But the possibility that it could lead down the road to other things was why I started. I thought this is a way for me to create. I can express myself, and I can actually look at people and say, because they're going to look at you and go, why are you doing this puppet thing? You're spending an awful lot of time writing and preparing these episodes. Why are you doing this? And I say, AdSense. I go, there's a possible revenue stream. There's this thing that can happen. But to me, I'd be doing it if, I'm not making any money at it. It's something like off in the distance where it's like, again, it's like getting discovered. It's like wanting to walk up on a stage and there's some big producer out there. It's the same thing, but you do it anyway.
Let me ask you something. Is AdSense the only business model, or do you think that there are other opportunities developing for people on YouTube, for vloggers on YouTube?
Actually, that's a big thing I've been thinking about. The AdSense thing and ad revenue and subscribers, that was when I first got started. That's what everybody was talking about. And so in my mind, that was the business model. And having watched so many people recently that I know personally and have become friends with lose that opportunity because of a little glitch or somebody got clicked on, watching all this happen. To me, I think it's much better. It's much better if you can find and sell your own, ad space. You're not going to make only a handful of the millions of people on YouTube are ever going to make the big money. They are going to become famous. But if you want to make a little money on the side, or at least make enough to keep generating content, where you can improve your content with it, sell your own ad space. That's something we do in theater all the time, is we sell program ad space. We got a program for a show. We go to the local businesses and we say, hey, you know what, for a quarter page, you give us $25, for a half page, $50, for a full page, $100, depending on the size of the theater. I mean, if you've got a theater that seats 1,200, you might charge $500 for a full page ad. From a business standpoint, you have to look at your own analytics and say, I say my videos, I typically get 100 to 150 views over the course of about 3 weeks. So, and I do 2 videos a week. So I could go to a small online company that's not really, they're not going to pay for Google click-through. And I could say, look, I can actually say at the beginning of like 4 Spigots videos, which is 2 weeks, and then it'll be there. I can actually say this episode of Spigots is brought to you by boom, and they could give me money directly. That's all ad sales is. is just going out. So I don't think that's the only model. Plus, there's now the networks. You could become, if you get enough views, there's a lot of different ways. Because I would like to see. I don't know if I should say this on somebody's video. I would like to see a world free of where AdSense is not the only thing. Google ad revenue is not the only thing that allows people to do that.
No, I think that's a valid argument. I mean, there's a lot of other opportunities that I think are just now developing.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So what's your game plan over the next for the immediate future with Spigots?
Honestly, I just want to keep going. I mean, it's, right now, Spigots, something really unexpected happened, which was, like I said, I got into it because I wanted to be a ham and perform, and I wanted to create, and then there was this potential business. But then once I get into it, there are these people on the other ends of these comments. There's all these, there's these people who send me videos of their kids saying hi to Spigots. There's these people who, and to me, I've got about 670, 680 subscribers, and I've got about 100 to 150 regular viewers. And I have regular conversations with those people. They like what I do. I've gotten to know some of these people personally, either through Google Hangouts or through, actually now meetups. I went up to the big Canada meetup here a few weeks ago with people, and so being a part of the community means a whole lot more to me than it did when I first started. When I started Spigots, I had kind of given up acting and performing and doing anything visually and was just writing. And now it's making me want to shoot like short films. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually talking to somebody right now, and I'm going to be shooting a music video in the next couple of months. So for somebody, that's the secret. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, I won't say who it is yet, but okay. But it's something I'm really excited about. Right now, I'm making videos for the people who are watching the videos and for myself. So, I mean, that's, as far as the future, that's all there is, really.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Spigots, wherever you are. Remember, you can watch Eric's channel at The Schwartzcaster. Before I go today, a special thanks to the Quad Spot. They interviewed me a couple of weeks ago. The link is in the description below. Now, thank you for watching. I will see you next time on the Vlogger Interviews 3D.